Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and welcome to the Karey Carbaugh podcast, a special Father's Day episode. Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros, chicos y chicas, niños de todas edades, y bienvenidos a el Karey Carbaugh podcast, un episodio especial por el Día de los Padres. Welcome. My name is Karey Carbaugh, and hence the name of the podcast, the Karey Carbaugh Podcast. This is a special edition. I wanted to pop on here. I know it's kind of a random time, so I don't know if we'll get too many people watching this live. But hopefully some people will catch this on the replay. I wanted to jump on here and wish all of you out there a very happy Father's Day, especially to the guys that are following me and watching these podcasts. Whether you're a father yourself, whether you maybe don't have any children of your own like me, perhaps you've helped raise other people's kids, maybe you have nieces and nephews that you've been like a father to, or maybe you've had a father yourself. Perhaps you were able to spend time with your father today or your children. Perhaps not, if your father has passed on like mine. Maybe you are simply remembering Father's Days in the past and good times, hopefully, that you've spent with your father. I know that not all of us are blessed to have positive relationships with our fathers, and I acknowledge that as well. But rest assured that even if you don't have a good relationship, or maybe not any relationship with your own father here on earth, we all have a heavenly Father who loves us very dearly. So either way, happy Father's Day. As we jump in here, smash that like button if you do. Leave me a comment letting me know where you're tuning in from and if you're catching this live or on the replay. And as I go through this, I would appreciate you letting me know if you're getting value from any of this. As I reflect back on my relationship with my father, there are a number of things which come to mind. I won't be able to share all of those in this episode, but there's a few that I would like to share because I think they are powerful. I think they give a good message to those fathers out there who are trying to do the right thing by their children. And so, as I was thinking of this, there were two things that came to mind right off. Actually, three. One of the things that I remember about my parents, in particular my father, was that we frequently would go camping up in the mountains on some property that we had, which my parents later built on, and which my siblings and I now have an Airbnb that sits on. But I can remember many weekends in the summer spending time, quality time, with Dad, walking around the property, dreaming of this house that he was eventually going to build, sharing in those dreams with him. And we would walk along and he would say, this is where the kitchen is going to be, and this is where the view outside the dining room is going to look. And this was many, many years before they were able to finally build up on this property. And that is one very fond memory that I have of my dad. As I say, there are many others, but I didn't want to make this a 2 or 3 hour long podcast. If you have fond memories, positive memories of your father, drop those in the comments below. I'd love to read some of your memories. And I know not all of us have had positive memories of our fathers. Perhaps you have had times that have passed by, that you have missed opportunities. I experienced a couple of times. My dad wasn't always real emotional, but there's two times that I can remember having very emotional conversations with my dad. One of those was when I received my Eagle Scout. I had asked Dad to speak at my Eagle ceremony, and I will never forget, in the middle of his speech, he had his note cards and had everything planned out that he was going to say. And in the middle of his speech, he broke down and was unable to complete that speech. And I remember when we got home, he tossed his note cards at me on the bed and said, "Here you go, put these in your Eagle Scout scrapbook, and remember this as the speech your father couldn't complete." And I still have those cards in my scrapbook today as a memory of an emotional time with Dad. There was a sense of pride, I think, from him, and a sense of connection between him and me. He knew how hard I had worked to achieve that award. And as many of you know, I'm visually impaired. I've mentioned that on these podcasts before. I did not want any special accommodations for the Eagle Scout Award. I achieved it the same way that any other scout would achieve that award, although there were some accommodations that were allowed. The only one that I remember not taking advantage of was the astronomy badge, because at that time there just wasn't technology for me to be able to map out the stars and to even be able to see the stars. But I know that that was a time that my dad was emotional, shared pride, and I hope that you've had these moments with your father, or if you are a father, that you've had these moments of pride with your children. The other time that comes to mind, and as I say, there are many, I'm selecting just a few, but the other time that comes to mind, I remember shortly before I graduated high school, having a conversation with Dad. And again, this was a very emotional conversation, and he realized at that time that his youngest son was about to graduate from college. I have two older brothers and a younger sister. He realized that he had missed opportunities with all three of us sons, and he had some regret over that. He realized that as I was graduating high school, he had not really gotten to know his children, his sons in particular, the way that he had wanted to. We had grown up. During my growing up years, although I mentioned that we spent quality time together in the mountains, he was most often at all of my school events, all of my performances, music, concerts, sporting events, but he worked a lot, especially in the summertime. Dad would work late hours. He was in the fertilizer and agricultural chemical business. And as I was graduating from high school, he realized that he had missed a lot of opportunities with his sons. And I think he changed that some with my sister and was available a bit more as he realized what he had missed. So if you are a father, if you have children, perhaps even grown children, I would encourage you, don't let those moments pass by. Take advantage of those opportunities. Life is short. Don't let life pass you by. Take time with your family. Take time with your loved ones. And for a moment, I would like to shift gears here slightly for those of you who may not have a relationship with your father. Perhaps you've had someone who's been like a father in your life. I've had a number of those as well. One in particular that comes to mind was when I moved to New York. I had moved from Colorado to New York and was not close to my parents, was not close to my father. There was a family in New York that basically adopted me and brought me into their family. I met them through church, and John became like a father to me. Those are also very special relationships as I think back on the men in my life that have been fathers and role models to me. John was there and helped whenever I needed to go pick something up. Whenever I needed repairs on something, they always invited me for holidays. It just became an expected thing. If I was in New York, I was a part of their family and was invited for their holiday dinners. And I cherish those memories and those times as well. Both my father and John have been gone now for a number of years. John passed away during COVID, and I wasn't able to make it back for his service, but I was able to attend virtually and to grieve alongside the family, because I truly did feel like I was part of their family in a very special way. Family is not always blood related. Sometimes it's chosen. And those can be just as special, if not more so, than our blood family relationships. So as I bring this in for a landing, I challenge you to think about the fathers or the father in your family, in your life, and anyone who has been like a father to you. Think about those relationships that you've had where you were a father or like a father to someone else. And drop me a comment in the comment section letting me know what comes to mind as you think about these relationships, either with your own father, with a father figure, with your own children, or with children that you have been like a father to. I would dearly love to read some of those comments and some of those memories that you have of the special times that you've shared. So once again, smash that like button, like if you do, to help this reach more people. And as I bring this in for a landing, this has been the Karey Carbaugh podcast. I hope you all have a very happy and blessed Father's Day. Thank you so much for tuning in live or on the replay. And I will see you for sure this Wednesday on the next regular episode of the Karey Carbaugh podcast. If I don't pop up sometime in the meantime, probably not in the next couple of days, but you never know. So thank you very much. Have a blessed evening. Be a blessing to those around you. Be a blessing to your father today or to your children today. And have a blessed day. Goodbye for now.